Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Most Excellent Entertainment. I'm your host, Keith. It is hot today, so I look like I'm in a bit of a wind tunnel, but it's really just a fan. and This week, our guest is a singer-songwriter, the lead singer for a band called State of Being. But what we're really here to talk about is the Love Muffin Palooza, which takes place on August 24th. To benefit the Gathering Place in Cleveland, Ohio. Please welcome Mr. Christopher Foldi to the show.
Howdy, good to be on.
Hey, awesome. Happy to have you, man. So, before we dive into the Love Muffin Palooza, I did check out your band a little bit, and it's interesting. The stuff, it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, because looking at the band, I think it's like a big rock sound, and it's more of like an electronic 80s throwback sound almost. Do you feel like that's an accurate description? Or
we're kind of a hybrid of all those things. The question, it's like I equally love and hate is, well, what do you guys sound like? And there's definitely an 80s throwback feel to it. But we came up in the 90s.
Right.
So
right.
that was a very different vibe. So it's kind of this strange marriage of the two, and pulling from a lot of things alternative, from new wave to 90s alternative, and kind of bridging that gap, I think.
Sure. There were moments that very much reminded me of Devo. Hopefully that's cool.
No, that's very cool. I love Devo.
Yeah,
I never heard that one before, though.
Really? Okay.
But that's a cool thing. I love it when somebody pulls something different out of your music that maybe you didn't expect.
Yeah, it seems like I find stuff a lot of times when I'm listening to music that doesn't exactly, other people don't hear, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I hear it now," So,
very cool.
Yeah. But you mentioned you've been making, this band has been going on. Your first album came out in the '90s.
Yeah. Our first we put out like an EP actually in 1990, right on the turn of the 90s, and it was just 4-track, early ideas. But our first album came out 94, 95, and we kept that going. That was kind of when the band got solid, and we kept that going into about the mid 2000s, and then shut that down. And then there's been little pop-ups here and there ever since, and now we've got a solid lineup again within the past year.
Cool. Yeah, it's wild for a band, especially on an independent level, to be together for that long, even with breaks. Is it you mentioned there was some pop-ups and whatnot. How long have you guys had a solid lineup? Has there been a lot of changes?
Oh yeah. I mean, even early on, but there was kind of two main lineups. There was like the 94 lineup, and then around 96 we changed lineups again, and then there was a number of drummers. And then this lineup that we put together, actually we put this lineup together for another Love Muffin themed thing. Adam Rich, who I think reached out to you originally, he kind of challenged me. He's like, why don't you do something with State of Being again? I go, that's a great idea. And pulled together. We added some new people and pulled together a new great lineup. So it kind of got me re-energized. So
awesome, man. So we might as well use that as a segue. We're going to talk for a little bit, so we will get back to the band if it goes in that circle. But yeah, so I actually was putting together a benefit podcast, a live stream, which was the first live stream this podcast has ever done, for David Roach from Junkyard.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So we did it on. We recorded it on Thursday, and we just went live with it on Thursday. Like we usually just record, but we just went live on Thursday. And then, for those of you who don't know, David passed away on Saturday, like the following Saturday. It's a couple days after the event. I didn't, all the money, we didn't raise any money to us at all. We were just pushing their GoFundMe and whatnot. So I don't know, but I'm hoping we helped, I guess, with his funeral expenses at this point, and whatever Jennifer, his wife, needs aside from that. But Adam actually popped up in the chat room and was there chatting during the entire live stream. And then he brought up in the chat that he was doing a cancer benefit and that you guys were covering a Junkyard song.
He's a big fan.
Yeah, so am I, man. Obviously, so that was like synergy. That wasn't something like, oh, David's sick, let's do this. That was something that you guys had planned prior to David even getting sick. So that's very interesting, man. You said that Adam's a big fan. Was there anything
It's
else
just
that
a
went
crazy
into?
coincidence.
Yeah, was there anything else that went into picking the Junkyard tune, or just?
Well, really, so this group, this is he leads this group.
Sure.
But we all a little bit of input and bring our own styles to it.
Yeah.
And he likes to pick a cover
Right.
for us to do, just to change it up. And sometimes they're kind of off the wall.
Yeah.
And but one that's been really one model that's been really successful has been taking kind of the 80s metal
Sure.
type sound, and reworking it with what we do as a 4-piece, and which is almost a little more of a 90s and beyond style. And so it's kind of like putting a different twist on those songs, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, and you guys do the event at a place called the Bop Stop, which, because of the setup there, you play acoustic. So
well, not acoustic. No. We're plugged in.
Oh, that's what Adam said. Okay, so what exactly is the setup then? If it's,
but it is it is a little more of a mellow vibe. The Bob Stop's primarily a jazz club.
Gotcha.
And so it's it's a little more chill. We're not going to come out all guns blazing. But,
right. Okay.
But no, we're plugged in. We're distortion. We're
Okay, right on. I thought I must have been a miscommunication in that, because I was just like, wow, they're going to do a Junkyard song acoustic. And if it's not Simple Man, I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work. So, I mean, but anything,
we could try it.
Yeah, why not? So Adam said, well, I was looking things up, obviously, to look into this, and Adam's been doing this since 2008. Has that been consistent every year?
Yeah, he has been doing it every year. There may have been a break for COVID.
COVID, sure, yeah.
But other than that, he's kept it going. I went to at least one early on before I got involved. He's had a couple different versions of this band. So I actually joined right after the first COVID return show, I believe. Okay. So
awesome.
But yeah, he keeps going. He's done this at the Winchester. He's done this at Brothers. He's done this at a lot of different venues. So
that's awesome, man. That's very, very cool. And then there's a lot of big local involvement. There's over 150 sponsors who've donated prize packages and stuff.
Yeah,
and that's really neat. And some of it, I mean, like, there's guitars. Even if you're coming from out of town, there's there's CD prize packs. The Michael Stanley Band, who's killer, like, you can get some of their stuff. I mean, it's wild, man.
Those he put together, some of the music and sports ones. He'll go and just kind of build a collection just to come up with something. So I don't know how he found a Michael Stanley record that was signed by all the members.
Yeah,
and then he'll build something around that. So he gets kind of creative with that. It's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. So yeah, if you're coming out of town and you're going to the Bop Stop to check this out, I mean, and you're just like, well, I'm leaving tomorrow, I can't win any of this Cleveland stuff. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that you could possibly pick up. So, and I can't remember. I don't like to take notes because I like to use my brain when I'm doing this thing. May not be the best format, but it's how we roll. Uh,
All good. All good.
so I remember that Adam mentioned that the name of the band is like a combination of your guys's various bands or names or something like that. What exactly is the name of the band that you perform under?
That is an excellent question. Yes. It's the current band name is called Flowers Love Being Kurt.
Gotcha.
And that's so one of our band members used to play in a band called Flowers and Flames.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're not active at the moment. Great band.
Yeah.
And then Love is for the Love Muffin, which is Adam's record label.
Right.
And then Being is for State of Being. So
Yep.
I'm the being, the alien. And Kurt, well, Kurt's just Kurt. He kind of, I don't know. In my opinion, he kind of got the short straw there.
Well,
we had a previous name that I actually
Yeah.
liked better, and
Okay.
and hopefully, it won't be mad. I'm telling you this, but
Go for it.
don't be mad. So, because what happened is our bass player, super talented guy, Jim, he wasn't able to do the show one year, and so we did it as a 3-piece.
Yeah.
And he made the name Erie Love State.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
But he's like, but then that doesn't include Jim, and I'm like,
Yeah.
ask Jim if he's okay with it. Anyways, so I'll call us FLBK sometimes. Flowers Love Being Kurt. I'll tell you one thing I do like about the name is that it's Adam can be very literal, and this is and he's just like, nope, one word from each of you. That's the band name. It's very kind of a DIY, kind of that punk rock ethic he has. So it works.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it's playfully awkward.
Yeah, it's like I was trying to remember it, and I was like, I'm just gonna ask. I was like, that's not gonna stick in my brain at this moment anyway. But
right. That was just FLBK.
LBK, there you go. But you said you think Kurt got the short end, but he has his actual name in there.
That's
maybe he got the actual the long. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah. So you guys aren't like a band that plays out. You just do this event, right? Or is that?
So that was kind of the initial expectation, but we've stretched it out to about 3 shows a year. He'll put together one other show. That's what he's been doing the past couple of years, where we bring in some heavier bands, and that's actually where the relaunch of State of Being came in. Nice. When he wanted to put together kind of a different because you can't really bring heavy bands in a bop stop. That's right. Not going to work. And then there's another benefit. I think it's called Clean House. That we've played 2 years in a row, and we might do it again this year. It hasn't been booked yet. They had a date, and then they decided to move it back. So we might be able to do that too. So about 3 shows a year. It's been and cool. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun project. I feel like the 4 of us gel really well, and it's a great time.
Yeah. Right on. If you're putting together a lineup on your own, you've got 4 bands basically. You can fill up 5 bands. You can fill up a night pretty easily with just your bands, So I was going to ask about the writing process with you guys not being like a band that's kind of together all the time. You do mainly originals during this set, right?
We do. They're mainly Adam's originals. So he has released a couple of solo CDs, or more than a couple. And so we kind of, I think we picked some of the best songs out of his catalog, and we put our own spin on it a little bit. He gives us a lot of, he's like, you don't have to sing it like the record, and I love that because I'd rather, it's more gratifying, it's more fun just to kind of put your own little thing on it. So
Definitely. Right on, man. So, what was I going to ask? Oh yeah, the live stream. So there's a lot.
mm-hmm.
Is that something that you guys have been doing, or is the live stream a new thing, or?
It's been going. The Bop Stop just does that, so
Oh,
that's
okay, sweet.
they live stream most of their shows.
Okay, cool, awesome.
So that's a very cool little
Yeah,
feature.
yeah. And so if people can't get to Cleveland, they can watch the live stream and still donate to the event. So that's really cool. Live streams.
Absolutely.
The internet is there's bad things about the internet, but I mean stuff like that where you can live stream and have a community and get a lot of people involved who can't necessarily make it to Cleveland is a cool thing. Like Adam has uh really been pushing me to come. Cleveland's like a 9 hour drive.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, I think something like that. I mean, it's pretty. You always think like Indiana and Ohio are right next to each other, but you guys are basically Pennsylvania. I mean, it's like that's the other side of Ohio. So it's like, yeah, it's tough to get all the way over there. And then the whole time I've been thinking that the event was a Saturday, and it is a Sunday,
Mm,
and I work on Sundays. So it's just, yeah, it's not gonna happen. But I can probably do the live stream at work. So so there
there
you
you go.
yeah. So I'll still be there in spirit, checking out the live stream at least. So um, do
Cool.
you?
We will wave to the camera.
I will for sure, man. Oh, you guys will wave. I'll wave
Oh
back.
yeah. You wave back too.
Yeah, I'll wave back. Um, so how big is this thing? I mean, obviously it's been going on long enough to where it probably has drawn. I mean, obviously there's a lot of local interest from the sponsors and stuff, but do you guys get a pretty decent crowd in there?
Oh yeah. It's a nice crowd shows up. Tons of tickets get bought. And can get um, a little competitive. Wanting those
Yeah,
prizes. So, but
yeah. Sure. I mean, there's good stuff. So yeah,
yeah.
and
So
that's and I mean, $10 for like the chance to win a lot of cool stuff and to see music. I mean, that's you can't really beat that. I mean, I'm sure you guys could sell the tickets for $20 or $30 and still do pretty well. But does anybody go above the donation? I mean, is that pretty normal or?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, people always go above and beyond, and some people will just say, "Hey, I don't need tickets. Here's my donation. Put this toward the gathering place." That's the who the fundraisers with is the gathering place, and that they're a great organization based out of well, they have offices on the east and west side of Cleveland. I guess that doesn't really. They're probably in Indiana as well too. I apologize. I don't know their reach outside of town, but
No.
they're a revered charity. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. And did they? I like I mentioned this is a cancer benefit. What exactly does the Gathering Place do?
so they 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 offer support basically for people going through cancer treatment, families with family members going through cancer treatment, and they're. Sorry, I'm trying to read my press release here.
Oh, no worries.
Got busted.
Good. Read away.
They have programs and services, basically for the entire coping of
Yeah.
everything, because cancer's
Yeah. Yeah.
cancer's a bitch, and so he Adam I know has been touched by that, people in his life. And again, Adam is very literal. He that inspired him to step up and do something about it. So
Yeah, I've actually a lot of my family members passed away from cancer, but it was
I'm sorry.
always, oh, thanks. I appreciate it. It just runs in my family. So a lot of my older family members get cancer. Like it just kind of part of what happens in my family. You get in your 60s, you have, you get cancer. I mean, it's crazy how that works in your genes.
Yeah.
But then a couple of years back, I had a friend. I'm involved. Well, I used to be involved in pro wrestling. I was a promoter and some things. And there was a wrestler named Adam Bueller who got HIV and cancer at the same time.
God.
Yeah, and he beat the HIV because I mean, there's pretty good treatments for that at this point. Like they could give you pills where it basically just goes away, like you don't have it anymore. And through chemo and whatnot, the cancer also went away, but then it came back and he ended up passing away. So that was the first, and I mean, he was in his early 30s.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that was the first young person who's passed away from cancer that I've known, and it was really hard. Like I loved Adam. I still love Adam. I mean, he's a good guy. Just always had a very interesting worldview, but he was always, always friendly, always, there to make you laugh and smile and it just, dude, he woke up one morning and he literally had a ball under his armpit the size of someone's head. Yeah, it was crazy. And he just was like, he went on Facebook and said, "Hey, I woke up with this. What should I do?" And everyone was like, "Go to the doctor." And it ended up being a tumor. Like it just, and I'm not around him every day, so I don't know if there was a process, but I assume like if it had, I don't think he would have let it grow to the size of someone's head. I think it happened really fast.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's just crazy how that can just. And then
Oh yeah, everything can change in a blink. Just whew.
so yeah, I mean, coping is a huge part of it. Um, there's a cancer place in Chicago that's a treatment center, and they have like an apartment for the families and counselors there for the families and stuff. I mean, because it's just, I don't think that that's necessarily something uh, that people think about, but it's super important. Like your mental state can affect how how your body responds to things. I mean, that's just a fact. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's very cool that Adam put this together and he's been doing it for so long. So
The Gathering Place affiliation that happened in 2012, and
okay.
it was actually his cousin that had passed away. So
Oh,
that was kind of
yeah,
the where that came from. So
right on, man. I mean, and that, I mean, a lot of times it's like I want to do something, and you start trying to figure out what to do.
his lyrics. My friends have cancer and ALS. Help me. My life is a mess. I don't
Yeah,
know what to do or how to get through.
there you
That's
go.
how the song starts.
There you go, man. It's heavy, dude. It's
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah. It is,
Yeah,
and it's ironically wrapped up in this poppy fun song
right. Of course. I mean, that's how it goes.
because you got to get through. You got to get through.
Exactly, and I mean that's another reason why things like this can also be important, like the catharticness and the release,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, obviously it's a heavy thing, but you got to let the heaviness out sometimes. I go to a ton of concerts, and there are times when you're at the right show and it feels almost like religion. It's just like, man, it's just huge, and you're just letting all this stuff go, and all these people are coming together. So, um, So
That's a special moment.
yeah, for
Had,
sure, man.
had one this summer up in Detroit. We went to see Simple Minds. Speaking of my
Oh,
80s background, they killed it. They crushed
yeah,
it. I
sure.
had no idea what to expect if I'd never seen them before live, and
Right, right,
it's
right.
just one of those moments, you know. And
Yeah, that's one thing that I found. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't go see legacy acts because it's, I'd rather see the young new stuff or whatever. But if you go and see a band, especially if it's been a consistent lineup, uh, those bands are tight, man.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like locked in, and they just play those songs, and it's just like, holy crap, and it's just, yeah, it's a different kind of experience. And I mean, it's cool too to go see like some kids loose and banging it out. But I mean,
oh yeah.
it's two different situations. But I
Those are
saw,
my favorite shows.
yeah, for sure, man. I saw Richard Marx, and it was
Hmm.
like it was a one man show.
Oh
So
wow,
yeah, it was him and a piano, or him and a guitar, or just his voice with a backing track. But his voice is like, holy crap, can that guy sing? It's just like,
oh yeah.
man, um, I so that was very, very cool. And that, he's almost 70, I think, at this point.
Wow, yeah. I
Beat,
bet.
yeah, and he was just out there, just you know, sounding just as good, like drinking martinis and like. It's funny. Yeah, he was, yeah, he had a martini like almost the whole show. He was drinking a martini and telling jokes and singing. It's interesting. And then like the last show that I went to was a punk rock show, ish, adjacent. It was the Aquabats, but they had Coffin Cats and Nick V and the Rats opening. So, and I'll just go take in anything at this point. I'm 51. I'm not a music snob anymore. I'm just like, I want to go hear good music and be entertained. So
Isn't life easier not being a music snob?
it is.
It's when you're young, you're so like, oh well, this is the cool music. It's like, you know what? I'm a freaking musician. I'm going to listen to everything because
Exactly.
it's that there's no bad genre. I mean, I used to always say, oh, I don't like this or I don't like that, and there's an exception to every rule. And there's something in there you'll find that you didn't know about. And
That, yeah, I say that to everybody. Like people who are like, I don't like country music.
mhm.
I'll say, "So you don't like Johnny Cash." That's what you're telling me. And then almost everyone, especially if they're like big rock guys, they're like, well, Johnny Cash isn't really country. And I'm like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? Like, he's so country,
Right, right.
And then if you like Johnny Cash, how about you listen to Waylon Jennings? And if you'll end up liking that, check out some Willie Nelson. And then Willie Nelson's an amazing songwriter. You know what I mean? It's like, and even if you're just like, oh, only Johnny Cash is the one that's for me, cool. You found a country musician that you like. Um,
Right, right.
but yeah, to me, there's like, I always like to say I listen to the best of every genre. That's how
There we go.
I look at it. You know what I mean? Like, there's even pop music that, you know, there's pop music that's killer as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, you just like listen to the
Oh yeah, yeah.
clever lyrics and stuff, and I'm talking about like radio pop, like dance pop. You
Good
just
song's a good song. You know.
exactly, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Admire the production. You know what I'm saying? There's always something. So, but when I was a kid, it's like, yeah, no, if it's not, you know, hard rock, heavy metal, it sucks. you
Oh
know,
yeah.
you can't trace their lineage back to Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath. I don't want to listen to them. It's stupid. You
Oh
miss
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
I'm familiar with that viewpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta open your mind a little, you know.
For sure. And the funniest thing is, like, I listen to other stuff. I just wouldn't be vocal about it. You know. Um, I had a freaking. I don't know if you remember Surface, but they had a song called "The First Time." That was the song by them that I loved. But they were an R&B vocal group, and
Okay, okay.
but man, that song was so well written. I went out and bought the tape, and I just listened to it all the time in my bedroom. I never told my friends, "Oh, you got to check out this Surface album," but
Yeah, yeah.
So
I love some of that R&B stuff.
oh,
Again, that whole, I grew up in the '70s and '80s, and
sure.
there
Yeah.
was, you know, music was interesting.
Yeah, I think music took a R&B took a turn kind of after the 90s. I think up to like, Usher and people like that. And then there's been some stuff that's kind of in his vein, in Usher's vein, that's okay, but a lot of R&B isn't as good as it used to be, unfortunately. But
Yeah, yeah.
oh, I mean, there's
It's
always
probably still out there. It's just not what's in the
harder to
mainstream.
find.
There,
Sure.
there's probably still good stuff being made, but a lot of times what surfaces on the in the pop world or is getting
Yeah,
shared on TikTok, it's going to
yeah,
be it's going to be something kitschy a lot of times. So
right.
it's
I think one of the hardest things in music is, and it's even still prevalent today because of things like TikTok, is latching on. Like it's like the whole Nirvana thing, like or the Motley Crue thing in the '80s, or it's like let's sign every band, or let's put a spotlight on every band that sounds like this. So like Neo Soul was really cool for a while until they started trying to find every single neo soul singer in the world, even the ones who weren't good, and put them on the radio. It's just like, unfortunately, that's kind of how culture works. So it's changed a little bit because of the internet, but it's still there. My son listens to a lot of hip hop. That's his big thing. He's 10. And because that's what people use in their edits, and I'm just like, dude, this all sounds like the same guy. I'm gonna be like, is this guy? And he'll be like, no, it's this one. And I'm like, oh, okay. Sounds like that last guy. But it's just kind of how it works.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's there too. Like every singer in the '80s sounded like Robert Plant. Not everyone, but every hard rock singer in the '80s kind of sounded like Robert Plant, or something along. You know, there's a lot of hard rock guys who sounded like Robert Plant, a lot of hard rock guitar players who sounded like Eddie Van Halen. That's
Sure,
just
sure.
yeah. I mean, that was a sound that people were trying to do in the '80s. Like, but not bad musicians to emulate. Um, and speaking of emulating musicians, who are your influences? Pop in there.
Oh man. So the state of being, man, I'm all over the board. I Interestingly enough, I grew up a huge Hall and Oates fan. I
Too.
just love the heck out of Hall and Oates, but not just the hits. I dug into a lot of the deeper cuts and
Right.
early albums that were a little more edgy and
Mhm.
interesting, and that kind of helped me start digging into other bands deeper. I got into David Bowie from there.
Sure.
Um, I got into a lot of new wave, Gary Newman, Human
Mhm.
League,
Nice.
uh, and then kind of worked my way into '80s kind of alternative.
Yeah.
Is really was probably my favorite genre. Growing up,
Sure.
The Cure, Depeche Mode, New Order, Love and Rockets,
Mhm.
all those bands. The Church, love the
Yeah. Yeah.
Church.
Yeah.
Got to open for the Church once. That was freaking
Really?
amazing.
Wow. Man, I'll bet it was.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. People think the church is just under the Milky Way, but honestly,
Oh
that
no,
whole album, at least front to back, is so good.
you're absolutely right. It is good,
Love
and
that.
I have it on my desk right now, right over
Oh,
here.
fire.
So
Yeah. I
I
had
was just working on a cover, actually.
very cool. I have a church video cassette that I used to watch all the time. It's like a documentary. And it's interspersed with some videos. I can't think of what it's called at the moment. I mean, I have my videotapes right next to me. I could give me 1 second.
All right.
I'm gonna pop around the corner and oh, where is that video? Here it is. Okay, so it's super beat up, and it may not even show up because of the background that I have up. But oh yeah, well, Have that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have that.
Nice.
I have
It's
that
really
too.
cool.
It's very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool to check out.
So Peter Kops is one of the four. Does it have the four pictures of the
Yeah,
four
yeah, the
guys? Or
goldfish. Oh, no, it just has
oh, it's
goldfish,
got the goldfish.
banana.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The album that has like the kind of same sort of artwork.
Yeah.
Peter Kops. We after the show, him and Tim Powell's. They want to go out after the gig, and so we took
Cool.
them to, interestingly enough, a place called Metropolis.
Nice.
So we're driving around with Peter
Yeah.
Kops and Tim Fowles in my car, and we're just like, oh hey, let's go here, let's go, and we hung out with
That's
those guys
awesome.
after. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Did you guys sing Metropolis at Metropolis? Like, I would have just broke out into it, man.
No, I got them in for free, but they made me pay. So,
Hey, you know.
but I thought it was just like they're big stars. They're from Australia,
Church, man, yeah.
They have a song called Metropolis. Come on, let them in. I didn't know if it would work. I just
They're
figured
like, okay, well, who are you? And you're like, well,
we
I'm
opened.
a
And they're
local
like, yeah.
Give me your cover. That's awesome, though, man.
That was cool. But so you were asking about influences. So
Yeah.
that whole late '80s alternative, and then when I went away to school, I started getting into industrial, specifically kind of Wax Trax era industrial.
Okay, cool.
So I got turned on to bands like Ministry, Meat Beat Manifesto, KMFDM,
Okay.
Thrill Kill Cult, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So when I was starting to make music, it was kind of a mishmash of that late '80s alternative and the kind of Wax Trax stuff.
Nice.
And that's kind of where it started.
Yeah, you can actually hear that now that you're saying it. Like, yeah, you can totally hear that. I mean, I think some of those sounds, like those '80s industrial, early '90s industrial sounds, uh, man, I can't describe it, man. But you definitely have some of them in your music. I think it's
Sure.
the rhythm, the rhythm. It's not really a drum, obviously, but I think that's where I heard the Devo, because I think Devo influenced the rhythmic sounds of that industrial scene. Before it became Nine Inch Nails, before it became big guitars, and
Sure.
yeah. So that's really cool. I remember winning a it was a record. I don't remember what they were called, but it was a record sized, like an album sized record, but it only had 4 songs on it, 2 on each side, and it was a Sister Machine Gun album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
them too.
winning that from a radio station. I don't have it anymore, but yeah, man,
Cool band.
Yeah, they were very cool. Yeah, definitely. They did a cover of an AC/DC song a few years ago that, like,
Ooh.
yeah, blew me away, man. I was just like, wow, this doesn't sound like any of their stuff that I had heard back in the day. But yeah, it was nice. They did a good job with it. So, it's funny too that you brought up Love and Rockets. I remember hearing an interview on the radio with Daniel Ash where he said that they purposely put in frequencies that make people's bodies uncomfortable. And I was like, why would you do that? Like, it made me feel like I'm gonna puke while I'm listening to your music, but I guess it's just part of it, like it's part of the experience of their music. So they were definitely a challenging band, but like there was cool melodies in there and stuff if you took the chance on it. So
Oh yeah, definitely a creative group.
yeah,
Sure.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And you can definitely hear, now that you're talking about it, I'm gonna go back and listen to your stuff again with that in mind, because you can hear that energy for sure. So that's really cool. Not
Sure.
that music makes people's bodies uncomfortable, but
Right.
the creativity of it and whatnot.
Should also mention that their former bandmate Peter Murphy, also huge influence. So
Yeah, Peter Murphy, man. It's so funny because I mentioned kind of being snobby about the stuff that I listened to as a kid. I remember like Peter Murphy particularly, and My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, not really. I was like, this is too odd for me. Like, I can't mess with this stuff. Like, what is that guy doing with his voice, And now I'm just like, it's cool, I dig it. So always go back and revisit things if you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, when the 90s hit, I was so into kind of that more industrial sound that,
Yeah,
you know, I didn't dig in real heavily to, you know, kind of the grunge and that whole thing going on. And then
sure.
years later, went in and dug in and I'm like, oh my God, this stuff's great. This Black Hole Sun and all, you know, I was familiar with it, but I didn't really dig into it. You know, I didn't seek it out. And so years later, it was kind of this whole new discovery. And so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I hated Soundgarden when I first heard them.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this guy doing with his voice? Like it's just caterwauling and ridiculous. Oh
Yeah.
my lord! And then freaking Outshine came out, and it was like somebody dropped a sledgehammer on my face. Like that song is so condensed and just you know. And I went back and listened to all their stuff with an ear towards what they were going to become. And dude, they're like in my top three favorite bands now. You know, I freaking
Wow.
love Soundgarden so much. I think Chris Cornell has the best voice. Has.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about stuff like that in the past tense, but
Right. Right.
yeah. It's funny. I schedule these interviews usually as far in advance as possible without it being like 6 months out or whatever. And so I actually had an interview set up today, and then we're doing this one, and I'm doing another one at 5. But I'm interviewing Dickie Rossetti. I don't know if you know who he is because I wasn't 100% sure, but he was a big DJ in Seattle during the
Oh,
90s and into the 2000s. So that's an interesting that grunge got brought up because we're probably going to talk about that a little bit, but Dickie had to play a lot of grunge. I don't think he necessarily liked it. So
interesting. I bet he's got some stories though.
yeah. I mean, that was the big thing. Like, where is the stories? I mean, and he was also in a really cool band called Squirt.
Hmm.
That really, I mean, if you're into the alternative scene in the 80s and 90s, man, like they sound like I don't know if how he would feel about this, but they sound like the Pixies.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like Pixies esque. So, which I mean, you know,
And they were
Frank
ahead
Black.
of the curve, you
Yeah,
know?
Frank Black wrote some really good songs. I'm not a big fan of his voice, but they definitely. I love Pixies covers, man. Like you
Sure.
know.
I, I, I understand. I feel that way about a lot of bands actually. And it's like, but you know, sometimes you gotta kind of separate the performance from the song, and it's
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes harder to do.
yeah. I'm a vocals guy. Like
Me
to
too.
me,
Me
the
too.
vocal melody is what hooks me, and if your vocal melody is all over the place, it's a little harder. Like I have my ear has a hard time following Frank Black's voice. Like that's just even if the song is kind of hooky, like I just can't. Just personal, you know.
Sure,
Sorry,
sure.
Frank Black. If you ever listen to this, come on and we'll talk. But uh, um, but yeah, so we'll circle back to the Love Muffin Palooza.
Sure,
Uh,
sure.
where can people pick up tickets? Do you know? Um,
So the Bop Stop does have an online place where you can buy tickets. It is themusicsettlement.org
cool.
slash bop stop bop dash stop. I bet if you just go to www.themusicsettlement.org,
Okay.
I think they have a couple of venues, and just look for bop stop.
Okay.
You can find them out there. There's also more info at lovemuffinrecords.com.
Right.
And
Which is
I forgot to
interesting.
sorry.
Interesting website.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Is it up? It went down for a little bit. I forget what
oh yeah,
happened.
I mean, it was up when the last time I looked at it, and that was
Okay.
a couple
Okay.
days ago. So yeah.
Good. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. You know what? I didn't mention. So I didn't mention the other bands playing.
I was gonna ask. Yeah, go for it, man.
We have Saints. Saints is our bass player Jim's other band,
Okay.
Jim Samandel. So he'll be doing double duty.
Nice.
and then Taylor Lamborn is
Okay.
playing, and I have not seen her yet, so I'm looking forward to that. Mallory San Marco is playing, and she played last year as well. Great set, so I'm looking forward to seeing her again. And Bill DeGidio, and I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Bill yet. I'm going to have to do some homework here. Is also on the bill, Bill DeGidio.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah,
So what is that? 4 or 5 bands?
five.
5 bands.
Yeah,
Awesome.
2 bands, 3 solo artists. So,
Very nice for freaking $10, man. And you're helping like support a good cause. You could win some cool stuff. So
and Adam doesn't book junk. He
yeah,
always picks great artists.
awesome.
And so you can't go wrong.
Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, good luck with that. Is it 7 or 8 for the doors and start time and all that good stuff?
It is doors 5:30,
Oh,
music
okay.
at
Wow.
6:30. Well, it's a school night.
Sure. Yeah, it is a school night and
Who
it's a
else don't
Sunday.
school, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have a 10-year-old, so unfortunately, yeah, 51 with a 10-year-old. So yeah, I have school. I at least have to get up and go to school, and then I can go back to bed. But yeah, Christopher, man, this was very cool having you on. I'll have to have you back because obviously we were kind of sprinkling in our stuff, but I did want to focus on as much as my brain will allow me to anyway, the Love Muffin Palooza. I'll have to have you come back on sometime, man, and we can just talk about your music and a little more about that kind of stuff. That would be fun.
Sure, that'd be great.
Awesome,
I'd
man.
love that.
Yeah, it's a very cool conversation. So yeah, just man, I feel like we barely scraped the surface of it, but man, it was so cool having you on. Everybody, please check out the Love Muffin Palooza, lovemuffinrecords.com, the Bop Stops website, and check out Christopher and his band, The State of Being. Check out the Gathering Place. Even if you can't make it, they're definitely a worthy charity. Um, like we talked a little bit about, coping with cancer is one of the biggest aspects of beating it.
Yeah.
You have to have a positive attitude, and the family. Man, this is a segue that I was trying to wrap stuff up, but I just got in. I just thought of another segue, like from a real one of my first interviews that I ever did was a guy who wrote a book about the brothers' role when their sisters are abused, because he grew up, his sisters were abused, and he was told that it had nothing to do with him, and so he was never able to cope with it. And I think now we're more enlightened, if you will,
Oh
and
yeah.
we know that like it doesn't just affect the person that it's happening to.
Right.
There's a whole circle of people who need to be supported, partially so they can also give support. Um, so yeah, a place like the Gathering Place is really, really important. Um, so yeah, even if you can't check out Love Muffin Palooza either streaming or in person, uh, donate to the Gathering Place. Check it out.
Yeah, they're at touchedbycancer.org.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. Very cool. Okay, and we'll put all those links in the description for the video. So August 24th at the Bop Stop. Doors are 5:30. Uh, Music starts at 6:30. $10 gets you in, but if you've got a little more in your pocket, throw it in there. Lots of cool music, lots of cool prizes that you can win. Um, Christopher Foldi, thank you so much. I was
Thank
worried
you.
about the umlauts. I was like, I was like, does he just pronounce the O? but I was like, I'm just gonna go for it.
We
Hopefully,
don't pronounce. We just
it's just
that was the original family name, and I don't know. I think they're fun. So
yeah, it's cool looking, man.
right, it's cool.
Yeah,
Right.
right on. It's rock and roll. So, but yeah, so I've been Keith. I want to thank Tyler, the producer, Emmy Studios. Every week he puts this thing out. Sometimes it gets a little stressful, so thank you so much, Tyler, for doing all the technical things. And then, yeah, just thank you very much for coming on. Thank you very much for watching. And we will be back next week with more Most Excellent Entertainment.